Good morning. Do you know what today is? It is the day before Thanksgiving. And so if you're like me, you have a few things that you need to prep. And yeah, I just thought I would take you a little ways through my day of what I'm doing. And I have tried to make this as stress-free as possible. So, yeah, my husband is going to smoke the turkey. So there's not even going to be, well, he's putting it on the pit boss. That's what he's doing, which is a smoker. And so it actually keeps the temperature just like your oven does. So it's all good. But we've never done it before. So yeah, this is going to be an experiment. But the other thing is I have on my stove here, I have the neck and the gizzards and the liver cooking because yeah, I want that to be part of my for my gravy. And so I'll add that with the juices of the turkey and make some gravy. I just the way my mom always did it. I don't know if do you guys do it differently. I've actually known people who thought just threw that away, and I'm thinking make some broth out of it at very least, right? But anyways, the other thing I'm going to do is, yes, I have my pie crust ready. I just need to make my pumpkin pie, and I'm going to make a loaf of bread. And yes, that's actually just about all I have to do. And when it comes to food. And that's because all of my family, yeah, they're going other places. So we invited some friends over, and it's just going to be 4 or 5 of us. And yeah, it's going to be a different kind of Thanksgiving for us this year, but it's all good. And that's why I'm only making one pie. Usually I have to make, a whole bunch of pies. But it's actually been very nice and relaxing because I don't have to worry about cooking the turkey, and that's on my husband. And I just have to, yeah, tomorrow I'll make some potatoes for mashed potatoes, and I'm just going to cook my stuffing in the oven. So that's how I'm going to do that because you can't stuff the bird on a smoker. That not be good. So yeah, that's what's going on tomorrow. is for me is to do that. But yeah, it's just going to be a very different Thanksgiving for us. But I think it's going to be a nice one. And yeah, you know what? I even got Mindy Lou all prepared, so she's beautiful on Thanksgiving. So let me show you. Doesn't she look so cute? Went ahead and I brushed her, but I also trimmed her nails and trimmed the hair around her little feet the way they're supposed to be for a Sheltie. And yes, there's my little girl. But I also thought that I would show you just what you have to do to prepare the turkey to go on the smoker. I had no clue. I mean, my husband, he just thinks that this is better than, sliced bread. I mean, it's just, what can I say? He really enjoys his smoker. So he was all excited when I said, oh yeah, you can go ahead and you can smoke that bird. So, what you have to do is you have to have, of course, it has to be totally thawed out, but then you put it in a brine. And he bought this brine kit. And basically what's in this brine is salt and sage and thyme and just a few other things. I can't remember it all. Then he added some brown sugar, some water, some apple juice, and yeah, I think that was it. And it comes with this really big bag. So you put the turkey in it, and you put all that stuff in that bag, and you seal it up because it's ziplocked, and you need to put it on ice. So we just put it in an ice chest. So let me show you. So this is it, and it's in that bag. It's ziplocked, and you can see all of the brine, and it's just tucked in this ice chest. And according to the directions, it's supposed to be soaking in that brine for 1 hour per pound of meat. So ours is an 18-pound bird, so it needs to be in there a minimum of 18 hours. So yeah. So we got that going because we're going to have to get that bird, up and ready in the morning. So it's kind of a new one for us, but I thought maybe you guys would be interested in that. And let me know if you guys have ever done this. Yeah, I have no idea what this turkey is going to taste like, but I'm hoping it's going to be good. And yeah, that's kind of all that's happening right now. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and probably get that pie in the oven and yeah, boil down some of the water that's in for the gizzards and that, because I think I put too much water in there. I don't really need all that gravy, so I'll just condense it down with. So anyways, yeah, kind of a boring day actually, because my husband had off Monday and Tuesday, but then he's got to work today, which is the day before Thanksgiving. So he'll come home from work in the morning of Thanksgiving, and then he's off on Friday. Well, the reason why he just didn't take all 5 days off is because if he doesn't work the day before the holiday, he doesn't get paid for the holidays. So, yeah, he had some extra vacation days he needed to use up before the end of the year, and he's not allowed to use them at Christmas time. So we thought, well, we'll just go ahead and do it this week. And, yeah, that's what's going on here. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we will go on to the devotion. And I think the devotion is quite appropriate for the day. You might be surprised to hear that the most common command in the Bible isn't one that forbids us from doing something, but it's a command that urges us to do something. Over 70 times in the New Testament, we are commanded to give thanks and praise to our God. In the book of Psalms alone, there is around 36 references in 24 different psalms that tells us how we are to be thankful. Today, I thought we'd discuss 3 reasons to give thanks and praise to our God. Since it would be impossible to list them all, I have narrowed them down to 3. And the first is, being thankful is good. In Psalms 92, verses 1 and 2, it opens with these words: "It is good to give thanks to the Lord and to sing praises to thy name, O Most High, to declare thy loving kindness in the morning and thy faithfulness by night." Giving thanks is good. The word good here could be interchanged with the word right or fitting. Thankfulness is the only appropriate response to a God whose loving kindness we wake up to each and every day, and whose faithfulness we can sing of every night. Thanksgiving is the only fitting response to Jesus, who laid down his life to save us. Thankfulness, particularly when spoken out loud, is good for the soul, and it even edifies those around us. Thankfulness is good. Now, the second reason is being thankful leads us to joy. In Psalm 16, verse 11, it says, "You will show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy." So how do we get into God's presence? It can be all too easy to wake up in the morning without ever giving any thought to God and just immediately begin to focus on all the things that we need to do that day and all the problems that might arise. This does not make for a very joyful day. Yet in Psalms 100, verse 4, we are told to enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful to him and bless his name. Here we are being told to come into God's presence through the gateway of thankfulness and praise. Thankfulness can sometimes feel like we're climbing up a hill. We might even feel anxious, a little stressed, and maybe even empty inside. But as we begin to release our praise and our thankfulness to God, our hearts will begin to rise. Our minds will become focused, and we get a new sense of perspective. As we declare God's loving kindness, as we speak out his precious and magnificent promises, it's like standing and gazing over the panoramic horizon of God's grace and goodness, which stretches endlessly before us. Now, the third reason is being thankful is God's will for us. Now, I want to read from the Amplified Bible, 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 16 and 17, which says, "Rejoice always and delight in your faith. Be unceasing and persistent in prayer. In every situation, no matter what the circumstances, be thankful and continually give thanks to God, for this is the will of God for you in Christ Jesus." If you've ever pondered what the will of God was for your life, well, this verse takes that mystery right out of that. God's will for you and for me is to be the kind of person who rejoices in every circumstance, to be someone who abides in communion with God, in whose presence there is fullness of joy. We are to be the sort of person that in a world filled with so much moaning and complaining, we are to radiate with thankfulness. Thankfulness brings glory and honor to God the Father, which takes us right back to where we began. It is good to give thanks to the Lord and to sing praises to his name. O Most High, to declare his loving kindness in the morning and his faithfulness every night. God bless. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. And remember, be praiseworthy with everything that you have to God. Let it radiate from your very soul. And I'll talk to you in the next video.